Mission Digital Production Center on the Troy campus with news from Troy University locations around the world. This is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for February 26, 2014. I'm Jamarlo Phillips.
And I'm Courtney Addison. Thank you for joining us this evening. At most local restaurants and even now at a Trojan baseball game, you get to enjoy a cold one, but very soon you'll be able to enjoy a cold one on draft. At Troy City Council meeting on Tuesday night, a decision was made that will affect many residents, especially business owners. The City Council approved legislation to allow draft beer sales, but according to Mayor Jason Reeves, this is a lengthy process and will not take immediate effect.
Draft beer has to go through the Alabama legislature. It will take 4 weeks to advertise. That advertising will end on March the 8th. So that'll allow the draft beer local legislation for Pike County to be introduced on March the 11th. And we're hopeful that there will be 8 or 9 legislative days left, and it takes 5. So, we should have enough time to get this done this session.
But there are stipulations that come along with this privilege.
What we wanted to make sure didn't happen was that no Sunday sales were included and that it was on premise. So these are licensed, responsible vendors who will have the kegs.
While Mayor Reeves said this movement is going to take some time to take effect, it's a movement that both Mayor Reeves and small business owners feel the city of Troy needs.
When franchises look at our community, that's one of the things that they look at, which will put us on an even playing field.
I think that it's definitely going to keep some of our tax dollars in town.
Owner of Sips on the Square, Lindsay Taylor, was the first business owner to pursue draft sales in Troy, but she says the idea came after her business became more popular.
Week after week, we have out-of-town customers that come in, and they come from everywhere, and they're always so surprised that we don't have draft beer. That's one of the #1 questions that we get week after week after week.
Taylor says that allowing draft beer gives her a chance to offer a better variety.
For us, it's going to be an opportunity to create more of a variety that we'll have available, because there are a lot of beers that we can't get because they're only offered draft.
Sips is looking to offer more seasonal beers on tap and also house the staple beers that are consistently sold. Both Reeves and Taylor said they haven't received any negative feedback towards the city's effort to allow draft beer.
The author of this year's Common Reader for Troy University was on campus today to talk about his book with students. Dr. Francis Slakey, author of the best-selling adventure memoir To the Last Breath, spoke this morning in the Trojan Center Theater. The work, which details Slakey's adventures while climbing the highest mountain on every continent and surfing in every ocean, was chosen as this year's Common Reading Initiative for all Troy University entering freshmen. And in addition to his speech, Slakey held a book signing at Troy University's Barnes & Noble bookstore this afternoon. We will hear from Slakey later in the show during today's Trojan Talk.
And twice a year, Troy University's Office of Career Services holds a career fair for students to meet potential employers. However, the process of getting a job in education requires a little more work, so they get their own. Amanda Ford has more.
Wednesday morning, Troy University education majors had the opportunity to meet with many employers from around the state in hopes of finding a job before graduation.
The purpose is twofold. The university has an obligation to help graduates enter the job market, and then from the employer side of it, we're looking for quality graduates and quality teachers to fill classroom vacancies as they occur. This is one of the years that we're going to have a lot of vacancies, and so we're hitting the trail pretty hard.
Well, today was a great experience. We were able to come and see all the different school systems that came in. It's great being able to get your name out there. It's really important, especially with education, because everybody is fighting for jobs in education.
Employers were impressed with how many students showed up and that they were eager to get their careers started.
Probably talked to 30 this morning and thus far, and everyone we've talked to is real anxious and real enthusiastic and actually very passionate about what they're about to embark on.
It was great to be able to come meet different areas as well, because after I graduate, I'm not really sure where I want to end up. So for me, it's been great to see the different areas and the different schools around there.
Amanda Ford, Troy TrojanVision News.
Any students with questions about career options, they can stop by the Office of Career Services in Eldridge Hall. Well, Jamarlo, you know, last night, Troy University's Jazz Ensemble gave some students a chance to enjoy some dance, fun, music, and fun.
That's right, Courtney, and I got a chance to catch all the action. Troy University's Long Hall School of Music was filled with a night of jazz and dance Tuesday night as Troy University's Jazz Ensemble presents Stars Fell on Alabama.
Tonight is a very special event. We're actually producing a major music convention in Montgomery, sponsored by Troy University and the School of Music. Next week in Montgomery, March 5th through the 9th, we have the American Bandmasters Association coming. This is the world's most prominent conductors, the world's most prominent band leaders, and they're all gathering in Montgomery, Alabama.
Jazz sensation Julia Webb teamed up with Troy University's Jazz Ensemble to bring to campus an unforgettable performance.
We're featuring Miss Jilla Webb. Miss Jilla Webb comes to us. She's a jazz vocalist, but you would know, most Americans know her mother's voice. Her mother, Jilla Webb, was the vocalist for the Harry James Orchestra in the 40s and 50s and 60s. They were absolute pop music. And so here's the daughter singing her mother's music and kind of doing a historic tribute.
Students who I spoke with say this was an enjoyable show.
The jazz program here has excelled in recent years. They've just gone up and up and up. Even though we graduated some of our best players ever, we have perfect replacements, and they're doing awesome.
The concert is going on a jazz concert, and it's very interesting because I like jazz and poetry, and it's really beautiful.
Jill is amazing. I honestly wasn't expecting somebody so awesome to be here.
The Bandmasters Convention, the Jazz Ensemble, will perform next week in Montgomery.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. Out of Montgomery, a legislator says people should be allowed to carry a loaded pistol in their vehicle without a concealed carry permit. Currently, people may have a pistol in their vehicle without a permit, but the weapon must be unloaded, locked away, and out of reach. Republican Senator Scott Beason says an unloaded weapon is of no use to the driver.
And in Waugh, state troopers say a second child who was injured in a two-car crash over the weekend has died. Investigators say 2-year-old Heaven Brooks of Lynette died yesterday afternoon. Another child, 11-year-old Nasha Knight of Montgomery, was also injured in the crash and died Sunday evening.
And also out of Montgomery, a Senate committee has approved an education budget that tosses out of the governor's recommended 2% pay raise for public school employees and replaces it with a one-time bonus of 1%. The Senate Finance and Taxation Education Committee approved the budget today.
And still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, the women's basketball team is back in action tonight at home. Amy Austin will give us the details and the matchup and more when she joins us in sports.
Now Amy Austin joins us with sports. So, Amy, if students are kind of looking for an event to attend tonight to kind of break the week up a little bit, is there any sports going on campus?
Actually, Courtney, women's basketball is in action tonight in Trojan Arena, but I'll have more details about that later on now in sports. The Troy baseball team had their first road trip of the season yesterday as they headed to Tallahassee to take on Florida A&M. Troy defeated the Rattlers 7-6. Freshman Jesse Nelson earned his first career win after striking out 6 batters in his first career start. Within the first 3 pitches of the game, Trevin Hall had a 3-run homer to start the Trojans off fast. Matthew Howard then had a double, scoring 2 more runs in the first. The Trojans put 2 more runs on the board in the third. The Rattlers scored in the 4th and 6th on singles and then capitalized on Troy errors in the 7th to score 4 runs. The bullpen held the Rattlers to give Troy the victory. Troy will be on the road to Southern Mississippi with first pitch Friday night at 6. For the women's tennis team, Trang Huynh was named Sun Belt Co-Female Athlete of the Week. Huynh went 2-0 in singles last week, which included a straight set win in the top singles spot in Troy's 4-1 win over Nicholls State. She also got a win in the number 2 spot against Northern Florida last week. Huynh is 5-3 in singles play on the season. Huynh and her double partner Anja Kosovic won in the number 1 spot against both North Florida and Nicholls State. Up next, the Trojans host a pair of matches this weekend against Kennesaw State. The women's basketball teams host UALR tonight at home beginning at 7. The game will be a battle of the Sunbelt's best defense, UALR, against the Sunbelt's best offense, Troy. Joanna Harden, leading scorer for the Trojans, was announced a finalist for the Nancy Lieberman Award on Monday, which is given to the top NCAA point guard. Troy is coming off a win after defeating South Alabama 86-76 this past weekend. UALR has won their last 4 games, coming off a 69-60 win over UT Arlington this past Saturday. Troy's record against UALR is 0-12 as the Trojans have never defeated UALR. The game tonight will be the 5th time the league's best offense and defense face off. UALR defeated Troy previously this season on the road by a score of 69-52. Tip-off will be in Trojan Arena at 7 p.m. tonight. The men's team will also be taking on UALR at home, but on Thursday night. Troy heads into this matchup 4-10 in the conference, while UALR is 7-8 in the conference. Troy defeated UALR earlier this season on the road by a score of 75-62. Hunter Williams leads the way in points for the Trojans. Williams is averaging 13 points a game. Leading scorer for UALR is Will Neighbor, who is averaging 16 points a game. UALR has had 5 straight losses, while Troy has only lost 2 of their last 3. The men's team will be in action Thursday night in Trojan Arena. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. The track team completed the 2014 Sun Belt Conference Championship with several Trojans posting notable results. Dallas Worth finished 6th place in the 400-meter, earning Troy 3 points. The 4x400-meter team, consisting of Taylor McDonald, Tiffany Slater, and Miracle Watson, placed 5th in all with a time of 3 minutes and 55 seconds, a season best. Julia Ostendorf took 17th in the 5K with a time of 18 minutes and 23 seconds. Erin Woods placed 16th in the triple jump at 10.82 meters, while Alexis Cobbs and Nisha Defoe finished 17th and 18th. Aaliyah Steergall placed 13th in the pentathlon for the Trojans, 8th in the shot put, 13th in the 60-meter hurdles and 800 meters, and 10th in both the high jump and long jump. The outdoor season for the Trojans begins Friday, March 7th as South Alabama hosts the Jaguar Invitational. So, Jamarlo, Courtney, lots of Trojan athletics going on. Fans need a study break. You know, students need a study break, and fans want to get out there. The women are in Trojan Arena tonight at 7.
Absolutely, and also congrats to Joanna Harden. She got that great award, and I know we're all proud of her accomplishment. Hopefully they'll keep up the good work, and hopefully everyone will come out and watch the Trojans tonight.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.